Well, I woke up this morning, checked the subscribers, and I've made it to 10,000 subscribers, so thanks for that. And as promised, when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I will be installing this Gen 5 3.0 Whipple Supercharger on the 7.3 Godzilla. So I guess let's not waste any time. Let's do it one last start. The way it sits right now, it's completely stock with the 5.4 throttle body. And when I dynoed it, basically the first time was 347 wheel horsepower, 496 torque, and I did it back to back, so 327, 494, and then the last one was 338 wheel horsepower at 521 torque. Eighth of a mile was 8.8 at 79, quarter mile was 3.8 at 100. Now, remember, this thing is still hooked up to the 4-speed OEM transmission that came with this Crown Vic, and I mean, I'm surprised it's still holding up because I put around 1,000 miles on this build so far, daily driving, drag strip, and just Mexico driving, I guess you could say. And I mean, it's been holding up, so I'm hoping transmission will hold on just a little bit longer, and if it doesn't, then I think I'm gonna switch to a 6-speed manual because I want to stay with the stock 2009 PCM because I want everything to work. I've got the AC working, Windows, it starts with the key. I want to keep all that, and install the wipers back. So this will be a daily driver. And also, when the Whipple's actually installed and tuned, I will be repainting this thing completely, and it's going to be all white because when I bought the car, I thought this was vinyl, but it's actually paint. So I'm going to get this whole thing resprayed, get rid of this ugly stuff here, and do something with the wheels. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just pull these caps off and paint those, and just have them all black and get the chrome caps. So my goal is, once it's Whipple supercharged and runs and drives decent, I want to drive this thing across the country and back and see if it'll make it. So stay tuned for that, and I guess I'm not going to waste any more time. The thing is, with this Whipple setup, it's a supercharger out of a 7.3 F250 basically, so it's all going to be custom. The blower is going to obviously fit as it should, but like all the piping, hoses, wiring, I'm going to have to get custom made. Like that battery is going to have to come to this side, and the airbox is going to be on that side, so I'm going to have to redo some of the wiring, which is why I haven't loomed any of the wiring that I made previously. So let's get to work. Actually, let's do one last start before I take it apart. This may be the last time it runs, who knows. This thing's been sitting for at least a few months. 87,000 miles. Alright, well, that's enough of that noise. Plus, I don't want to get it too hot because I got to work on it right now. So, I'm going to start with taking everything apart, taking the intake off, and then go from there. Now, this is probably going to take me a little while to get it all hooked up with the hoses and everything, but the cool thing is, this is like a custom kit. Like I said, the blower is out of an F250, so that's all the same. But all of this is out of multiple vehicles. For example, the throttle body here is out of a 04 Cobra, and it looks like the 132 millimeter, and that'll plug right up to the original wiring harness, which is good, so I don't have to modify anything there. There's a couple hoses that may or may not work. There's some fuel rails that will work for sure, and check these out. flawless. And of course, there's some stickers. Can't forget the oil. That's a must. You don't want to blow up your supercharger. And there's a bunch of gaskets and connectors and all of that. I had to figure all this out. I had it all laid out, but I had to move some stuff around, and been stretching this way too long, so it's time. Be very careful when you're taking these apart, because you don't want to rip any wires or anything like that. So yeah, look at all that. So I'm taking this whole front end apart basically because I'm gonna have to put a heat exchanger in there somewhere. And I don't have one that came with the kit, but I'm hoping I can use the one out of my Shelby GT350 kit that I have laying around. It's a complete kit, so I'll use that, and if that works, I'll just eventually, if I need one, I'll replace it. But I'm gonna leave the grill for now, drain the coolant, and start taking all of this apart. This has gotta go. My custom intake, K&N, let's go. Ooh, K&N. Let's go. Look at that custom box with that forced air. Ow. Wow, these hoses are really stuck on there. There we go. Ow. 7.3 liter Gen 5 Whipple Supercharger. It's not necessary to remove the lid because you get to the mounting bolts from the sides, but I did it for other reasons, and since I have it off, I'm gonna show you this crazy huge intercooler, water to air, and this thing is massive. So just keep in mind, you don't have to take the lid off. I did it for other reasons. So leave the lid on a supercharger when you're installing a 7.3. So it looks like I'm ready to set the supercharger in. I don't know if it's gonna be permanently, but I think I want to set it in to at least cover the holes. I was hoping to get further than I did today, but what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take this whole unit. I just filled it with oil. I'm gonna take the whole unit. It's heavy. Wish I had some help here to lift it, but I'm gonna pick it up, lift it, and hopefully, if you guys remember from the beginning, I made that custom tee for the oil pressure sensor and the oil pressure gauge to go inside. I hope that tee is not going to interfere with the Whipple blower, because that's gonna suck. But if it does, I'll have to get rid of probably the oil pressure gauge or relocate it somehow. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. This thing is heavy. Make sure all the gaskets are in. They are. Oh man. That's why my back always hurts. Because this unit. Oh man, this thing is huge. Wow. What a unit. Oh, it looks like we got plenty of room back here. Perfect. Look at all that room back there. Wow, this thing is a monster. Okay, well, a couple issues. This heater core tube for the coolant line is sort of in the way, but I can bend that down, no problem. Unless there's one in the kit, I have to check. And also, the thermostat housing is in the way, but that's why I guess they include one in the kit. That's why I should open up all the parts, I guess. But that's the only two issues I see. And also, this thing sticks out like crazy. This is gonna look sick. I'm gonna need a bigger hole. Dang it. Well, that hose is not gonna work anymore. Oops. Okay, that's how she's gonna sit right there. Wow. So I'm gonna have to trim the hood some more. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a new hood and cut it out, because this is cut out for a totally different thing. I'm gonna cut it out just where it needs to be cut out, and that'll look much better. And I'm sure I can find a decent hood for this unit. But this thing is sitting, all the bolts line up. I haven't torqued it down or anything because I'm not sure, I might have to remove it again. I do want to remove this harness eventually and get it loomed up properly and go over everything, finalize it. But before I do that, I want to make sure that everything gets plugged in and everything's to proper length. So a couple things are going to have to happen, like I mentioned, is the battery is going to have to relocate to the other side, or possibly maybe in the trunk. I don't know. Trunk would be cool, I think. But yeah, a couple hoses are going to change. This heater core tube, I was able to just bend it down. I don't know if it was bent for some reason, but it didn't. It was kind of in the way. So I bent it slightly down, got it out of the way, and the thermostat housing, the one that came with the Whipple kit, I was able to put that in. So I'm gonna have to remove this thing. Actually, this is gonna clear the throttle body. So maybe I can leave that here and not worry about it. I'll just relocate the battery to that side. That way I can have some kind of custom air intake here eventually. I'm sure I can make something work. But it looks like my heater core lines are gonna work no problem. I'm not sure what's going on with the pulleys. There is a pulley and a belt kit that I haven't got to yet, so I am gonna remove the fan and get that going. But it's looking pretty good so far. I am happy with the way it's turning out, and I can't wait to see this thing run with the Whipple Supercharger on it. I mean, just look how big it is. It sticks out like crazy. I really thought it'd be more flat, but nope. That 3.0 Gen 5 hits different. And imagine a 3.8. So this is going to be it for this video, because I got to a good stopping point that I can leave. I don't have anything open, so I can go ahead and continue in the next video by removing and moving the battery and all that. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, and later.